Alrighty guys, what's up? Welcome to episode 4 of my Season 1 Let's Play with mods. Up until a moment ago, I figured out what was going on with my lag. Actually, well, I'll rephrase that. Train in the background, I do apologize. It's not that I necessarily figured out what was wrong with the lag or what was causing it, but the weird lag spikes are gone now, and that is really my main concern. Sorry about that bump in the microphone, by the way, trying to figure this out. I haven't actually played on this at all since I last recorded because I wanted to figure out what was going on before I tried recording. So last episode I mixed up some of our bees, tried to get some stuff going here. You can see we have our little honeycombs in here, but I want to go and get a few other things moved into this chest while I'm at it, because I'll eventually want to get into that kind of stuff anyways. So in this episode I've got a few nifty little things planned that I had actually planned on doing last episode. But for the most part, my number one focus is actually getting all of the bee-related stuff out of this crate and into that chest out there because I want it to be immediately accessed. Yeah, it looks like that's it. Sweet, sweet, sweet. So, today, my plan was to play with turtles. Turtles are brought to you by Computercraft, by the way, if you did not know. Oh, and as I was trying to explain last time, there's a portal, or there's a spider spawner over there. This is how I got the portal. If you missed it, I talked about it for a good few minutes on last episode's, or yesterday's video. I'm sorry, not last episode, yesterday's video. So yeah, if you're wondering how I got the portal gun, that's how. Basically, one of these trees, all the way over there, about 300 blocks, had one of these in it. They're very rare, so I don't really consider it overpowered that I found one of these. Blah blah blah. Enough of my blabbering. Let's get started with turtle stuff. So, good old turtles. I've basically gone ahead and I actually want to make a change to this real quick. I've been meaning to move this in this chest. It's just a matter of preference, actually. I have been meaning to do this for a while, and or been needing to, not necessarily meaning to. But I think it's about time that I finally get around to doing it. We're going to play with turtles, and I'm going to make a few programs and show you guys a few things that are going to be really helpful. I went out and explored a little bit. And one thing that I've actually kind of got a shortage of right now is wood. Not too severe, but it is a notable lack, or notable shortage, at least in my opinion it's notable. So I'm just going to get together a few things here and there that I know I'm going to need for the day. What I did do between episodes between episode 2 and 3, is I went out and did some exploring and got some new saplings. I keep on middle clicking this to sort it when it's a crate. It doesn't sort. So yeah, I went out and got some of these saplings, or actually found a redwood forest with these two saplings, fir saplings, not forest. Fir saplings and redwood saplings. And we're going to go out there and plant these and kind of have a good time with this, but there's a lot to be done between now and that point. Right now, really the big thing is I've got to make a turtle. So let's go ahead and get started. I've pretty much been working on getting the materials I need for it. There we go. Just got everything I need. So what I need to make just a plain old computer. If you don't know, turtles are part of Computercraft. They're all about programming your own stuff, and it's a big hoo-ha, and it's actually really amazing. But I'm going to get started just making a basic computer. What we're going to do is we're just going to get a glass pane, 7 pieces of stone, and a piece of redstone. This is it. This is the recipe for your basic computer. Now, I'm not going to want just the computer. I want the computer combined with a chest, and with 7 iron ingots in the shape of pants. With a computer and a chest, it gets me just a basic turtle. This turtle is, well, just that. He's basic. I right-click on him and you can see Turtle OS 1.4. Here we can type out a bunch of random stuff if we wanted to, and it'll tell me, hey, guess what? No such program. Well, what do you mean, no such program? So let's start with something basic, something everyone thinks to do whenever they get frightened by this very ugly screen. Help. So the first thing it brings up is the fact that we can go type programs, and it'll list all the programs that are already available on this turtle. These programs, most of these programs are also available on a computer. Some of them are not because the computer doesn't have the ability to move, like I will show you this turtle does. As we go through, you can see there's help for program, help for programming, help for individual programs, and then help for programming, as well as any changes that have been added into Computercraft versions. If you've updated, you can see what's new, as well as credits and the index to see all the help topics. So if we take a look at programs, you'll see that there's a decent list of them here. There's just a few that are pretty simple. There's dance. Can't really think of too many other ones that you really want to pay note to, except for one of them here, which is Pastebin. What Pastebin allows me to do is it allows me to do just that. It allows me to either put a file out on Pastebin or get a file from Pastebin and put it on this turtle. Yes, Pastebin is in the internet website. Pretty cool, huh? I think it's really neat. And I've actually already written up some code that I'm going to be getting from Pastebin and putting onto a turtle. That way you guys don't have to watch me code all this, and I don't have to go and code it right now again. I can just use code I've already written before and do it again. So I'm going to go ahead and break this turtle though, because keep in mind, this turtle is just a turtle. He doesn't really do anything. He can move. If I gave him some coal, he would be able to move. I'm actually going to use my coal code for this, but I'm not going to do it right now. But yeah, if I gave him some coal, he could move. But right now, I don't want to waste coal. So if I tried to tell him to go, it's going to say what direction and what distance. So let's do go forward 1. Out of fuel. Well, that's no good. So now if I type in refuel, it's just going to assume I mean 1 time. So if I did refuel 2, it would do refuel 2, and it would have taken both of my wooden planks. If I did refuel all, it'll take anything in its inventory that's a fuel and burn it up as a fuel. I'm just going to type refuel again though. And it's going to take it up to 30. Now let's try that go forward again. There you go. He just moved forward. Let's try that twice. You move forward twice. Let's try that 4 times. Why not? So as you can see, this guy can move. I don't want to be a little bit too pinpoint about this guy. I just want to make a point that he can move around, which is what makes him so incredibly special. So now, while this is cool and stuff, he can't really do anything. He can't craft anything. He can't really do anything except for move around. He can't attack any mobs. He can't even dig up a block if he tried. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this ruby pickaxe and combine it with my turtle here and get myself a mining turtle. This is pretty useful. You can use a diamond pickaxe. You can use any of the Red Power 2 gemmed pickaxes, and it'll get you a mining turtle of that associated type. However, I've just happened to have a surplus of ruby pickaxes because I made them. I'm almost certain they have to be fully undamaged pickaxes though, or else I would have used the green sapphire one because I don't really like ruby, to be honest with you. On a turtle, I should say. On tools, I don't really care. On a turtle, turtles stay around for a lot longer than a tool will. So the little tool on this turtle actually renders on the side of it just like you would hope it would, at least. Not necessarily imagine, but hope, definitely. It doesn't really have a durability. In fact, it doesn't at all. The cost of it is basically the fuel that you provide the turtle itself. So that's pretty cool, I guess, but what can we really do with this? Well, what I'm going to do first is so that every time I break this turtle, it maintains its information, how much fuel it has, any programs I've written on it. I'm going to give it a label. So I'm going to start off with label. Okay, label. Oh, label. Well, label what? Label clear, set, whatever. So we're going to do label, set, turtle. Actually, we're going to call this felling turtle. This turtle is specifically going to cut down trees for us. Could we have done this with a axe instead of a pickaxe on the turtle? Sure. I just wanted to do a pickaxe because of all things, this label can get changed later, and this turtle may be repurposed for something else later down the road, which will probably be the case. It'll probably end up being my turtle that does all the mining I want it to do. So we're going to label it, and this turtle has now been set felling turtle. Now check this out. This is actually really cool. If I search felling, oh wait, no, it's not there. Maybe no, maybe not. Well, you see it says felling turtle beneath, like as a little tooltip, letting you know, hey, by the way, here's the name. Yeah, it doesn't show up. Sometimes they show up in NEI as well, which is really helpful. Maybe it's only when you're in cheat mode. I have no idea. But like I said, what I've done is I've actually written some code on Pastebin And what I'm going to do is I'm going to name it. And the way these turtles work is if you name a file right here on the directory called startup, it will run it as soon as the turtle is opened. Basically, like I can place it down and it won't run the program yet, but when I right click on it, it runs the program. So that's what I'm going to do in this situation, because this is specifically my felling turtle. So what I want to do first is I want to refuel. Like I said, I could do refuel 1, refuel all is what I'm going to do here, and it took all of it. And you can see our fuel is at 2,880. Now I'm going to do paste bin get, and then I have my letter code. You are free to use this code as well for your own purpose, but I will warn you, my code is not exactly efficient for what I'm doing. It's just something that I tossed together in about 5 minutes, and it works. So after that, we have to follow it with an argument, which is the name. And we're going to name it startup. I want it to run as soon as I open up the interface of this turtle. It's going to connect to Basebin, download it, and now it's downloaded as startup. So if we do ls, this is the same thing as typing out list. You'll see there's ROM, and now there's this file called startup. Let's say we wanted to take a look at startup's code. Well, here we go. A brief explanation of my code here so that you guys don't have to be completely clueless. I'll kind of go line by line. And if you want me to do an explanation on if statements and a lot of just basic layman's coding stuff, let me know. I do write mods and stuff in Java if you didn't already know. But just let me know if you want me to kind of go into this more in depth, or if this was really boring for you and anything I do with turtle code you don't want to see at all, just want to see what I do with it. I don't care, just let me know. I'd rather know than bore you guys to death. So what I've done here is basically written some code saying if turtle.detect, turtle.detect is the way of it seeing is there a block in front of me. So if there's a block in front of it, basically if turtle.detect is equivalent to true, then in response I want it to dig and then move forward a block. So let's say there's a 2x2 tree here. Let's just imagine I don't need glass panes, so we'll waste glass panes. Let's say this is a giant 2x2 tree. If there's a block right here, it's going to dig it and then move in its place. So now imagine the turtle is in this block space right here. And then it's going to move, like I said, move forward. Now it's going to detect above it. So let's say it's, again, another really big 2x2 tree that's really tall. If there's a block above it, turtle.detect up. So long as there's always a block above it, it's going to dig in front of it, dig above it, and then move up a block. Dig in front, dig above, move up, until it reaches the sky. When there's no blocks above it, it's going to stop. It's going to be like, whoa, there's no block above me. What do I do now? Well, the next bit of code says, hey, while there isn't a block beneath you, which there shouldn't be, you've been digging these blocks above you this entire time, so now there shouldn't be a block beneath you. While there isn't a block beneath you, go down. Pretty simple. Makes it come back down to the surface after cutting down a tree of any height. Then it's going to turn right twice. Basically, it's going to turn around. I need to lower my volume real quick. It's going to turn around, move forward, turn left, move forward, and turn left. Because basically what I've done is I've got my turtle here. It's moved forward, move back, move forward. Basically, or not move forward, just move forward, and dug up. At this point, my turtle's gone all the way up, it's gone all the way down, and we're here. But we want to be there. So I'm turning right, and then I'm moving forward. And then I say I'd turn left, move forward, and then turn left again, as I say here. And then we do that same thing. But instead of using an if statement, I just did a straightforward do it instead. So instead of up here where I said if there's a block in front of it, turtle.dig, turtle.forward, down here I just told it to do it anyways, regardless of if it's there or not. So it's going to dig this block, move forward, and now it's here again. Well, then guess what I did? I repeated that code that I did earlier where it digs above and then it digs forward. And then when there's no blocks above it, it goes all the way back down again. In the end, my turtle ends up right here, having cut down an entire 2x2 tree. And that's the end of that. I think I've done enough explaining on that one. I'm going to break these glass panes. So yeah, that's my terribly written code. I'm not a very good coder in my own opinion. I know this sounds very negative, but I just... It's not that I'm a bad coder, per se. I know a lot of stuff, but I'm very inefficient at coding. So I'm going to pulverize my bones that I have here, because I could really use the multiplicative value. I basically use as much Romeo as I can get. So it's been nighttime, daytime, and again. Pretty great stuff, pretty grand stuff. I'll check on my bees in a minute. I want to grow one of these trees real quick for you, though. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to just grab 4 pieces of dirt, because that's all I need. And I'm going to come out here to this wasteland biome where it's pretty flat, gives me a good area. I am on hard right now, okay, good. Gives me a nice area to grow a tree, basically. So with these trees, these are 2x2 trees. By the way, this code for the 2x2 tree also works on the 1x1 tree. It just makes your turtle move a lot more than it needs to. But we're going to start with redwood. I really like how redwood planks look. And we're going to plant it, and we're going to bone meal it. You have to have 2x2 saplings for redwood. And it's going to grow this ginormous tree. And it's not that big, actually. But you have to imagine that cutting this thing down would be a pain in the balls. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to place my guy down and open him. And look what he's doing. He's cutting down my tree for me. I named that file startup for a reason. I don't have to type anything. Every time I place him down, he's going to do that. Or every time I place him down and open his GUI for the first time. Now, after he's already done all this, let's say he's right here, he's already cut down this tree, and I open it again, it's not going to do anything. Startup only works for that one time. And here we go. Render distance isn't quite rendering all of this for some reason. Oh, there we go. Lovely little update. But you can see my turtle. I'm real proud of my little turtle here. It's done all its stuff. But yeah, if I, like I mentioned, or like I did earlier, you guys saw that I refueled my turtle with all that coal coke. I want to say each time it moves, it requires 1 fuel. I don't remember for sure, but I think each time it moves a block, it requires 1 fuel. I've got like 9,000 fuel in there, so I'm not really worried. Plus, it's cutting down trees. And now I see why this tree didn't seem too tall to me. It's because it wasn't rendering all, or wasn't rendering all of it. Yeah, this is a huge tree. This would be a pain in the balls to cut down. So yeah, while this isn't a completely ideal or completely automated either setup, this is still way easier than cutting down the tree myself. So you don't ever want to get in the way of your turtle while it's actually doing stuff. So be sure to stay out of its way, or else it'll punch you, and it'll actually stop what it's doing for a minute. There you can see the code that I wrote. I'm actually pretty proud of how it all came out. I've written this code God knows how many times, and I finally got so tired of it that I just paste-binned it and wrote down the paste-bin link. That way, should I ever get on a server or make a map or whatever that I really wish I had it again, I'll just go and paste-bin it because I've written it too many times as it is. So while my turtle is cutting down this gigantic tree still, and also while the saplings disappear on it, I need to light this up. It's a little bit dark. I'm going to check on my bees, see if they've done anything. Looks like they have. Very nice, very nice. These guys are almost dead as well. Just want to make sure I'm not going to get creepered. So yeah, we have a meadows, marbled, and marbled again. So we're going to just go ahead. I'm going to be doing this randomly for this specific reason. A lot of people very commonly say that no, you can't do it randomly. You have to have a beealizer. A beealizer is just something that I don't feel like making right now. If you want to know, the beealizer is basically going to require that you use some honey drops in it, and it will analyze your bee for you and will let you know kind of here's some more information. You see how it says unknown beneath this as I hover all over these? Well, when you put it through a beealizer, it no longer says unknown. It actually gives you very detailed information about the bee, its genes, and its chromosomes and calculus like that. I don't really care. I'm just going to guess. I've guessed and gotten myself to diligent bees and noble bees before. Actually, very recently, like in the last 2 days, I've done that. So yeah, I'm just going to guess, basically. And I'll be able to figure it out. But like you can see, I mean, it's not that I can't afford it. It's just that this requires you to make a carpenter. And a carpenter isn't expensive. It's just a pain. I mean, it's not even a pain. It's just, it's inconvenient. It's making a machine to make another device that I don't really need. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my Meadows Princess. I don't even remember which one this is. I think this was mixed up a little bit, but it doesn't matter because I still want to mix one with one here. And we're going to do Meadows with... Oh, hey, good. Here's a mutation. If you recall, this was a Meadows Princess and a Marble Drone, if I recall correctly. I think it was. Maybe I think that might have been actually a Marbled Queen with Meadows. I think maybe. Point is, I got a common drone. This is basically how you mutate. With forestry, you basically start off taking any 2 bees that you find just in the world. If you take any 2 of those and mix them, basically if I have one type here and a different type here, or, you know, whatever, in the end, after a few attempts, you'll get a common drone. Common is basically saying here's a mixture of these 2. So I'm going to go ahead and combine my common drone with the Meadows Princess. Keep in mind, with forestry, that this Meadows Princess has a little bit of common in it, just not as much as the common drone has. It's all about traits. And these bees do stack under very specific situations. So if you notice that yours aren't stacking, then don't be too concerned about it, because they're only supposed to if the bees were if the drone was. It only works on drones, by the way, but it really only happens if the drone is of the exact same everything. Like if it was made at the same time, if it was, you know, the same bee, of the same everything, and it's just extremely unlikely that you'll ever get. It's not unlikely, it's just, it has to be under specific situations for you to be able to get your bees to stack like they did here. As you can see, though, from that few seconds that I was, or a few minutes, I guess I was gone taking care of my bees, I got a few stacks of logs. Look at that. Not overpowered at all, is it? Nudge, nudge. Wink, wink. So I'm going to take care of this little patch here. I need to move this because these leaves are going to take a while to decay. So I'm going to move this like over here. Doesn't really matter. Just somewhere far enough where the leaves aren't in the way of this growing. And I'm going to do the same thing I just did with my little tree here, but with fir, because I want fir tree. I just really wouldn't mind expanding my sapling collection in general, and wood collection. Just open that up and leave. So yeah, while that does its thing. And by the way, there are several little add-ons for the for those little turtles. They're actually really cool. One of them is the chunk loading module, which will basically take any chunk loader, this chunk loader included, and combine it with a wireless modem, which is really cheap. And then if you combine that with basically any turtle, including the mining turtle, it'll keep any chunks it's in loaded, which is useful because sometimes, like especially on the server, I'll have a chunk loader mining turtle dig out a gigantic 30 block by 30 block by 7 block tall quarry at like bedrock level. And I'll just leave. I'll tell it to do that. I'll fill it up with a lot of energy or a lot of fuel, and just tell it to do that and leave. Tell it, hey, here's a chest for you to dump your items off into, and I just go. So yeah, pretty neat. I don't know why I'm not using my portal gun more. I guess I'm just a loser. What else do I want to get into today? I've actually already done quite a bit, considering. I wouldn't mind getting some better chest organization, I guess, but at the same time, I don't really need it at this current state and time. Let's see. You know what? Let's go ahead and look into... Oh, right in here. Look into some industrial craft. Why not? Industrial craft is one of the really big tech mods, whatever you want to say. Tech mods. It's a big tech mod. That's my point. And really, really, it's what I'm going to be depending on, not necessarily for my machinery. I mean, eventually, yes, for my machinery. But actually more for the tools and weapons, because they are really, if I may say so myself, they're really kick-ass. So I've got my 6 diamonds here, puny little 6 diamonds, not too much. I've got some tungsten here as well. I really wish that actually had an official red powder use. Oh well. Oh yeah, I need to go. I'll worry about that later. I'm not too concerned. I'm just kind of cleaning up my inventory a little bit here while I look through all the stuff I've got before I go and do something kind of remotely interesting. Yeah, so I need... Do I have a stick? I don't have a stick. That's a shame. I wish I had a stick. I'm going to use these redwood logs. Now, I'll show you basically what the redwood logs look like. They're pretty cool. They're kind of like a mixture of oak and, what am I looking for? I'm looking for, not that, this. It's like a mixture of oak and jungle, which I really like. They're a really good color, in my opinion. I'm going to take stick and 3 of any gem. I'm going to choose Why not? Green sapphire, why not? And make one of these sickles. I don't know, I think I already have explained to you guys what the sickle is, but I'm going to make a green sapphire one because it works really well with these. I'm going to come up here, take a nap, and we're going to start doing some rubber tree harvesting. So I got some rubber tree saplings while I was out and about exploring. You guys might be well aware of that. But I want to kind of get started on a rubber tree farm. Wouldn't be a terrible idea. So what I'm going to do is actually a good place for that would be that wasteland spine over there where I've got the normal tree farms going too. Yeah, I don't even have longfall boots. I keep on mixing up what I'm doing on here and what I'm doing on my server. I really want to use that enchanted book soon. I might look into that as well. It's not too much iron. It's only like 31, I think. Yeah, I might look into that. I really could save my iron on. Or I really could use my iron on some better stuff. Dirt. I need dirt. Sorry if I seem a little bit scatterbrained. I'm just, I don't know. I'm actually in a really good mood. I have nothing to complain about. I feel bad for my mom. She's actually really sick right now. She's got a really bad cold. Like to the point that she actually sprained her back coughing. Not badly, but I mean bad enough that it hurts and she's having to basically lay around. But yep. So we're doing pretty good on wood now, needless to say. So that's just gonna I'm probably just gonna leave this turtle out here chilling. I don't really have a need for him to come with me right now. I'm just gonna leave that there. We're gonna get started on a proper rubber tree farm. I really should get a hold of one of these anyways. Oh god, I did bring wood. I forgot about needing another tool that only is made with wood, so it's alright. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna plot out an area. I already kind of know about how big I like these. But in general, when I do industrial craft rubber tree farms, I prefer them to be, why am I scrolling that way? That doesn't even make sense. I'm doing it the hard work way. I generally like leaving 3 blocks of space between them. You know, if that makes any sense. So like I'm laying out the dirt here because I'm going to need a place to put my saplings. So when I'm doing that, I'm leaving 3 blocks of space in between them. This seems to be a really good, really decent number to go with for these. And I don't know, do I want to go with 3x3 or 4x4? I think I'm going to do 4x4. Why not? It's not going to kill anybody. Of course, you're probably sitting here thinking, you don't even have enough to fill in your 3x3 sapling farm. You've only got 6 saplings. What are you doing? I know. I'll get more. Like, literally, as I'm doing this farm, I'll get more. That's why I brought the bone meal. So yeah, I recently as in like today, maybe 2 hours ago, started playing Terraforming Craft again. I used to play it, and I just got really frustrated with it. And I've decided to give it a try just because I've been learning a lot of new mods lately anyway, and having to really change my style of playing. And last time when I played, I was pretty much doing the same thing over and over again, to be quite bleak. But yeah. So I just grew this. This is what a rubber tree generally looks like. They spawn in the wild if you haven't seen them. That's actually a rubber tree right over there in the wild. And yeah, we're going to try to get some more rubber tree saplings from it using my sickle here. 2 more, not bad. And let's see, let's just go ahead and grow a lot of these at once. So yeah. Video is being recorded late. It'll come out at the same time. It's just normally I record these when I wake up in the morning. Oh hey, thank you for growing without wasting my bone meal. Normally I record these in the morning and then upload them in the evening, but I don't know what was wrong with me this morning. I just didn't feel like recording. I'm glad I didn't, because I wouldn't have recorded a very good video in the end. That's how I am. I mean, I know a lot of people like this, but that's something that as I've done more and more YouTubing, I've noticed in myself is that if I don't feel like recording, my videos generally aren't, in my opinion, as good as they would normally be. So yeah, sickles are amazing. I love sickles so much. So as you're probably noticing as I'm going around cleaning up the leaves on these trees, the reason, by the way, I'm cleaning them off is because we need, actually it's kind of going to the same explanation, so I interrupted one statement to basically say the exact same thing. Look at me. And now I'm interrupting that statement to talk about why I interrupted it and realizing that I didn't need to even interrupt it. This is... Okay. Stop. Scratch that. Start over. You're noticing as I'm cleaning up the leaves on these trees that there are these little orange spots on them. These spots are basically sticky resin. This is like sticky resin embedded in the wood. And we need a way to get it out, which is why I just crafted the workbench. If I get myself 5 wooden planks in this shape, can't be the other way, it has to be this shape. It can be any wooden plank in the world, just a wooden plank. I can get a tree tap. What does a tree tap do? Well, think about it. What do you think it does? Right click on it, and it's magic. We have sticky resin. Sticky resin, it can be placed. There's not really a use for it. I wish there was a quick way of getting it up, but there's not. And it makes a terrible sound noise, which really hurts my teeth when I listen to. Not really, I'm just exaggerating. Oh, apparently it only drops on a random chance, because I lost that last one. Interesting, I didn't know that. I thought it dropped every time. Whatever, we have a pretty decent sized farm here, so it's more or less expendable. What I'm going to do, just to keep this area well lit, is I'm going to put a torch smack dab in between the 3 blocks that I laid out between all these trees. I'm kind of hoping that you guys are starting to see why I have this set up the way I do. It just seems like it's the best way to do it for me. At least it has been very successful in the past. It just makes a lot of stuff really stand out. This is rare. I've seen this before, once before. Only once before, and that was actually like the other day. Normally these trees will have 1 to 2 rubber sticky resin spots on them. On rare occasion, they'll have 3. On extremely rare occasion, they'll have 3 all on one side. Which is convenient for us because it means we don't have to turn around the tree several times. Because I've been known to make myself dizzy running around a tree doing this to make sure that I've found all the rubber spots and basically acquired all the rubber that or sticky resin that I can. I'm going to go and warn you guys now. I'm going to call it rubber many, many, many times on accident. Just because, and it's basically what it's going to be. But in its raw form, it's sticky resin. So yeah, this little tree tap has a little bit of durability, or has very low durability, has very few uses, I should say. Nonetheless, it's cheap, and there are upgraded versions of it later down the road. Upgraded meaning not necessarily iron and blah 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 versions like pickaxes, but upgraded meaning, get this, electrical versions. You're probably stopping here thinking, mind exploded. What do I do now with my life? I don't even know. There's an electrical version of this tree tap. I don't even know how to get it. I don't even know why I made a tree tap, but my mind is blown. Nope, it's not. This is only the beginning. So yeah, I'm gonna leave my little turtle guy here. Give me just a minute to take a look at my take a look at how long I've been recording. I think we're actually at a pretty decent wrapping up point, but I'm not 100% sure, so let me check. Yeah, sadly for you guys, I am at a very good wrapping up point. Looks like we're at about 34 minutes by the time this is done. So, yeah, got some pretty good stuff going on. Showed you guys the cool turtle program that I created. Got some bee stuff going on. Ooh, got actually quite a few honeycombs from this guy. By the way, I guess I never did explain the point of interbreeding and, not interbreeding, but crossbreeding your bees like this is in the ideal goal of you getting basically different kinds and more honeycombs. So maybe instead of one bee producing 1 honeycomb, it'll produce 9, 17, I don't know. You can, they're pretty much, I don't know, they're very dynamic. There's so many options with these guys. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up for now. What I'll probably do is just, actually, no, never mind. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up for now. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode, episode 3. No, 4, not 3, 4 of my Let's Play. And I will see you guys next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.